Hi everyone. I recently finished the book 1776 by David McCullough. I remember when this book released in 2005 and it was featured quite prominently in bookstores, but regrettably I wasn't as much of a reader back then. I finally bought it for just $1 at my local library and absolutely loved it. While there were important battles and events in 1775, 1776 is when the Continental Army was established under George Washington. The Declaration of Independence was signed, and the previous militia rebellion was formalized as the War for Independence. While the war continued until 1783, the year 1776 alone was so important and eventful that it easily warrants its own book. Besides the four major battles of 1776, which I'll briefly cover, the book offers a ton of other insight. The first 19 pages began purely from the British perspective before switching over to the American side. There are excellent looks into George Washington as the commander-in-chief and how he managed his generals. A highly impressive city even in 1776, the descriptions of New York City were fascinating. I was also surprised to learn of how large a role the Hessians, German mercenaries, played in aiding the British. Now for the four major battles in 1776. March in Boston's Dorchester Heights. Aided by foggy weather, Washington's men managed to sneak well-defended cannons onto the hills surrounding the British Navy, stunning the British and forcing them into an early retreat. Over the summer in New York, Washington hoped to defend Long Island and Manhattan, but was easily defeated as the Americans lacked a navy, while the British assembled their largest mass of ships to date. Surprising the British yet again, Washington managed to evacuate his entire army overnight without incident. In November's Battle of Fort Washington, the American army completely lost control of New York in a crushing defeat, and losing the entire war seemed imminent. Finally, in December, Washington and his remaining men crossed the freezing Delaware River overnight and completely shocked the British with their success during the following morning's Battle of Trenton. An unbelievable story. This was my favorite part of the book, and I was basically freaking out while reading it. While I prefer to take notes while reading nonfiction books, the style of writing tended to slowly reveal stories and events across entire chapters. While insanely memorable and informative to read, I found that note-taking was difficult. Nevertheless, 1776 by David McCullough was incredible, and I really wish I read it back in 2005, when dozens of copies were lying around Barnes & Noble. I definitely would like to read more books dedicated to the Revolutionary War after this. I'll certainly want to read the highly rated Washington biography by Ron Chernow. If anyone has any other book recommendations, please comment below. Alright, hope you enjoyed the video and thanks for watching.